I made this game like half a year ago, and here's like the entire process of making the game. Now that's not just in this video, this is gonna be a whole series, but I just wanted to show you how I made the entire like second game I've made start to finish. So let's start with what I'm gonna tell you in this video. I'm gonna tell you how much I made, why I made it, and just why it did pretty well for my standards. This is a second game, so it's not like huge numbers, but it's like pretty good. I'll tell you later on in the video, so stick around. And let me just show you what the game is like. So basically, here we have a whole bunch of ants. They're currently kind of like low frame rate ants because like low update rate ants because there's a lot of them. There's about 10,000 ants in this nest, so I have to like reduce the updates to the ants. But you can see they're just running around, and basically the game is feeding the ants, and there's these combat challenges where basically your ant colony will fight another ant colony, and it's basically just gambling depending on like who wins. And then you do like a bet of like, I bet 50% of my money that I will win, and otherwise I lose all of that. So basically that's how the game works. It's pretty simple. It's the main thing about the game is just looking at the ants and seeing your colony go. That's why it's really fun. So this is not like an ad for the game. This is an ad for my community where we make games together for charity. It's all free, so it's not really an ad. But yeah, check that out. There will be some things about that in this video. So the game released about like half a year ago now. Before that, there was a demo for a while, and that demo basically grew the wishlist numbers to around 1,400. Wishlist numbers are very important if you don't know yet in game development, especially like Steam. I don't know about other platforms, but Steam wishlists are huge. So because they just give you that initial boost of people buying the game as it comes out, and then you snowball from there. So yeah, release went well. I'll get later on to how much I made exactly. For now, it went well. I am quite happy with how the game did. And the pre-process release was having a demo out for a while. That demo started out really simple and then got more and more complex as time went on. And eventually I ended up taking it down because the full game was so much better looking and just like feeling than the demo, that I didn't want people to get the wrong impression. If you want to learn game development super quickly, go down to the link in the description because there's a community of lots of cool people making a game together for charity. It's my community, so that's why it's here. And go check that out. Yeah, goodbye. So that's something I did. I'm not sure about like the effects of having a demo up while your game is out already. I haven't seen any numbers on that, so I don't want to speak on like if that's a good idea or not. Why did I make this specific game? So basically, the reason behind making this game is it seemed easy. So that's pretty obvious reason. Like it didn't seem that hard of a project to make. It took like a couple months. So that I expected it to take 1 month, but I'll get more into the actual development later. I wanted to play it myself, so I basically was like, is there a game about having like pet ants? And then I was like, no, there isn't. And I looked for it on Steam. Oh, there was a really bad one, and it like had a decent amount of reviews. So I was like, huh, maybe I could do this. That's another reason why I did it. And there's an established audience for this kind of game, and it wasn't like met yet that need for an ant game. So basically, ant nerds, pretty big community. So I was like, hey, what if I just get a little bit of that community, and then that worked out. So. Was I right about these things? Yes, it was actually pretty easy. It did take about 2 to 5 times longer. It took me about like 4.5 months to actually finish the entire game, and then like post-launch I did some support, and there's a DLC coming out soon. Maybe it's out already. I don't know. That made it take a little longer. But so probably like 4 or 5 months of that time. There was some scope creep, but that's pretty normal for games, and it's still something you probably should avoid. But your scope creep should only happen when like. So there's this graph I saw once about like your costs versus your money made in games. So basically, if your cost goes up, the money you make should also go up more than your cost, because otherwise you're just wasting your, like otherwise there's nothing changes, right? So if you want to, and that's basically like your hourly wage, right? The ratio between how much it costs you to make and how much you actually make, that's how much you make, right? Like the value you provide compared to the cost. So that's basically like if your scope creep is increasing the value more than the cost, then it's fine. And in my case, I think that was the case, but I'm not entirely sure. And there indeed wasn't really an established game in this genre, apart from a really crap one and some mobile games. So that was a good idea. And finally, established audience. Yes, that worked out. I have a lot of ant keeping people in my Discord now that really like ants, and that's why they play the game. And everyone in the reviews says like, this game is great if you like ants, and only then basically. It's not that great of a game because it's my second game. I'm not that good yet. I'm a lot better now, but like when I started this, I mean, like I wasn't that experienced with game design. I'm a lot better at game design now. But yeah, so it was a good way to like get a game that's good for a certain type of person, but not like as good as a game that's actually really. This makes the game sound really bad. The game isn't that bad. It's just like it's extra fun if you like ants. And what did I get? So what